I started going with my boss at first, and then we started playing golf and stuff, and then I started meeting other people that are playing golf, and then they started inviting me, hey, well, you know what, we're gonna shoot tees over here, so hey, why don't you want to come? And I was like, yeah, let's go. So then I'll go with them, and then before you know it, here we are.
So how do you like golf?
I love it, man. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's really so stressful. At first, I couldn't get the game, and now I'm starting to hit the ball a lot better now that we're starting to hit tees out there. So yeah, it's cool. I love it.
So you're pretty good then?
No, I'm not good at all. That's still working probably.
Were you a sportsman in high school or?
No. All I played in when we were growing up was just football and soccer.
Okay,
so this was something totally different.
That is different. You go from like contact sport to.
Yeah.
That's okay, cool. And so, what are your goals? What's next for you? Like, what are you currently working toward right now, family wise?
Family wise, I mean, I'm working towards as getting trying to raise up in the company, trying to get more money, to get a bigger place for us, get more stability, and and do more things like that in that fashion, where we don't have to, I want to make, I'm not trying to be a millionaire, but I like to have a lot of money where we can go at least to vacations and it won't hurt us. We can come back and we're still good on everything with the bill and everything. With that, I'll be good. So that's one thing I've been working on. Doing a lot of. So now that I talked to my boss about my interest in that. So then so I wanted to learn more about the company. So now they got me like doing carpentry work, rebar tying. I'm starting to read blueprints online now. So I'm starting to get it all down back. Now they got me as a field administrator, so I do all the paperwork also. So now I'm dealing with a lot of general managers and stuff, and then doing the safety courses and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I like it.
It sounds like job construction is something that you kind of learn as you go. Is it?
Yeah, it is. And you have to have good teachers, because a lot of times they do not want to teach you, because there's job security for them. They don't want to teach you, and then you end up being their boss. So you gotta kind of approach them, in a way where, where they'll give you all the information they got, without them feeling threatened.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And so has it been being able to see your kid, raising your kid?
That is good. I mean, I loved it. My first child, I wasn't able to. I missed her birth by like 1 minute because I was having court that morning. So by the time we got approved to cancel that court and all that, and then I hit the hospital. I mean, right when I walked in, they're like, she just had the baby. So in this one with my little boy, I mean, I was right there, and I was seeing everything. I was with her the whole night, and through the hospital, through all her pain and all that, and I mean, it was something else. And then to see him actually come out, and then to clean him up and cut the umbilical cord, that was awesome, man. I was like, whoa. And then like with my little girl, I wasn't able to be there for her because right after she was born, she was a couple months later, I ended up going to prison. So with the little boy, I'm actually here with him, so I'm always got him in my arms, playing with him, and every day I tell my girl thank you. And she's like, what for? What for? I'm little boy. So it's awesome, man. And even when I have to wake up in the night to feed him the bottom, it's something that I love doing.
He's what, 2 years old now? You said 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months.
Oh, wow.
And then the little girl, she's my stepdaughter. She'll be 7 this month, and that's what I go pick her up from school. I was in part of what's called the Watchdog Dads. I volunteer for a day to go over there, and you spend the whole day at the school with the kid and stuff, and doing stuff like that. I never thought I would be doing it. I mean, it's awesome.
Speaking of the school, do the other parents know who you are? Do they?
A lot of times they do.
Yeah.
A lot of times they do. They're always like, hey, you're that guy.
That dude.
Yeah, and I get a lot. I mean, we've hardly no negative response. Most of them have been pretty good. We've been having, especially like when I go pick up the kid at school. I mean, they all know me now. All the moms over there, so they always tell me hi and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So it doesn't seem like you've gotten any lashback or anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, you got a couple of people that, but I mean, it's very far in between.
Uh-huh.
Mostly positive stuff. So, I mean, I can go to a restaurant a lot of times, and then, like, when we're going to pay the bill, somebody will pay it for us. They'll be like, oh, they already paid it for us.
You want to go grab lunch? Let's go grab lunch. Okay, cool. So how, I guess, I don't want to get too into depth with it, because I don't want to, give you flashbacks or anything like that, but as far as prison, how was that? What was that experience like?
Prison was living hell. I mean, that place was something else. Like, Oh, like my first day in prison, right? It was at Brazoria County, and we're all in line, and it was 15 of us, and then the officer, he has his keys in his hands, and we're about to go in to the prison, and he stops us out right before he opens the door, and he's all like, "Look, I'm gonna tell all you guys. I don't know if I can, say bad words on this or not, but he's like, I'm gonna tell all you, mother effers this, well, when I open this door, every one of you guys are gonna get your ass kicked today. Every one of you guys. Half of y'all are gonna get raped, and one or two are gonna come out dead in the morning. When you wake up, don't come crying to me or my officers, because we're not your mama, we're your papa. You should have done whatever you did to come in here. Welcome to the burning hell. Come in with your gloves on." And then they opened the door, and I walked in, and then after I went through UCC and everything, I went to my wing, and sure enough, right when I got there, 3 guys hit me up, and then they they were talking about, wanting me to pay protection, you know what I'm saying, or, being one of the sex slaves, and then so we ended up getting into it, and then after that was done, 3 more guys came at me, and then after that was done, 3 other guys came at me, and then by the 3rd time that I had 3 guys back to back, then they were like, "Okay, man, you passed the test, man." I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah, and then woke up in the morning and go to the whole squad, which is the field, work out in the fields, and every one of us that went in that day, sure enough, was all beat up. And a couple of them didn't show up because, they had got raped or whatever.
You were what, 19 at the time?
I was 18.
18. Mm-hmm. And how do you survive in that sort of environment?
Really, you gotta just kill all your emotions. That's basically what it all comes down to. You can't have no emotions. You can't have no feelings. You basically gotta just numb yourself to everything. Because you're gonna sleep at night. You're gonna hear the new guys coming in screaming because they're getting raped or whatever, and you gotta kind of block all that off. And it's pretty much it's something that you don't want to do.
Is that a phone?
It's Joe. Hello? 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 I thought I had it on vibrate.
I'll give you an opportunity to switch.
Okay. He says he's in courts. He'll be in our place soon.
Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna put that on vibrate now for sure. Alright.
Okay. So you gotta kill all your emotions, you said.
Exactly. You gotta kill them all. You can't have, because it'll drive you insane. Because you see a lot of bad things in there. And you see a lot of stuff that, that you even tell yourself, how can these people do this? Because, it's basically survival of the fittest in there. And it's who can come on top, and then they have these things called like Freaky Fridays, and that's on Friday where at 6 o'clock they tell everybody that's in the day room, "Hey, if you're not gonna fight, go inside." And then so, you stay in the day room, and then everybody starts picking each other out to fight, and it's like a sport for everybody, And then people start gambling on who's gonna win the fights and things, And yeah, it's pretty hectic. And then when you go to the fields, once officers, once people start talking about, how good you're fighting or how you can take a hit, other field officers will want you to recruit you to be in their little fighting team, the gladiators, and then they gamble on you while you fight. And, sometimes some of them, if they're real into it, they'll get you trainers and stuff to train and have people, saying, working you out and all that. Mm-hmm. And then that becomes, where you work with them. They tell you straight out, you can either do your time easy and join the team, or we can make your life a living hell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and that's what it all, so that's basically, that's the hell you live through every day,
And so how did you come out of it? Because most people that would go in there, they would have caved and...
Yeah, well, basically, what did...
Because you look okay.
Yeah. What happened was at first, it was really rough, right? But then, I never thought I was going to go home. So I thought this was it. This is my life. So you kind of get into that mode where you kind of, you're not thinking about, the free world or nothing. You're not thinking about outside. You're mostly thinking about just surviving for your first years. you know. And then after so long of just doing that, it becomes so natural that you're not thinking about that no more, you know, because it's all of a sudden natural. You can see somebody coming at you to the side, and you know what's gonna happen. You can read people, you know what their intentions are gonna be. And so then once you get into that state of mode, then you start branching off into what you know, sometimes, you know, your mind wanders like mine, and I started getting into like National Geographic, started reading, want to educate myself. And so I spent, after like the first 5-6 years, you know, I went to really getting hard into, you know, getting a better education. And I couldn't really go to the schools there because I had so much time. So what I had to do was I had to pay people to, you know, to steal out, you know, stuff from education. And then I'll do their worksheets and stuff.
So you had to pay people to get educational materials.
Yeah.
That sounds like I can understand, like cigarettes or something. It's educational materials. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and that's how I did it. And I got a bunch of, like, I would carry a dictionary with me wherever I go. In fact, I still think it might be here. I might have it in that back before I put them, but I still had the same prison dictionary I had so many years ago. Mm-hmm. And I would just read it. And then I couldn't, like, I had a speech impediment at first, right? So what I would do is I would get, like, you know, some guy that I knew, you know, was real educated, and I'll tell him, okay, how do you pronounce this word? You know, spell it out for me, how do you pronounce it? And then I'll just, throughout the day, I'll just repeat that word over and over in my head. And then I'll start saying it at night and stuff until I start getting it back. Okay, I got this word now. Let me jump to this one. Mm-hmm. And then I got, like, was really into religion a lot, you know. So I started, like, really just going to any type of religious courses I can find. You know, I did Islam, I did all that. You know, I was even the coordinator for the Islamic community for about 3 years.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So different aspects of it then.
Yeah, I would get into it, and then I move on, and then I'll get into them, and then I'll move on. You know, because I've never been one just to stay in one place. I feel like, you know, the world just got so many religions. How can you say one is the absolute? So I just, you know, just get into them, learn all I can, and then go on to the next one. And then, you know, I still study, like Islam, I still got my Quran and stuff, so I still read. And, you know, like Buddhism books, I mean, anything religious I get on, and I'll still read them and stuff like that. But, you know, I don't practice it like when I really want it, because what I really like to do is get into that mind frame.
Okay.
You know, so I have to go all out. You know, you have to do the Ramadan, you have to do the 5 prayers a day, then you do the additional prayers, then you do the rakahs, and then you start saying in Arabic. And then you got to get into this mind so you can know what they're actually thinking when they're doing this. And that's what I'll do. And then after that, I'll jump onto something else, and then just move on like that.
Is your family heavily Catholic?
Yeah, most of my family is either half and half Christian, half Catholic.
And so, when you were telling your parents about this, did they say anything? Because I know some people.
No, they were like, whatever keeps your time busy. Go and do it.
Wow. And so, when the possibility of actually getting out started to become more of a reality, and you heard about John Mandela, like, what was going through your head?
Actually, that was when I met John, right? I had already done 12 years in prison. Mm-hmm. And I just came out of a solitary confinement, and I was on the record, and I was looking at everybody play basketball, handball, working out, and then I was thinking to myself, man, you know, and what really affected me was at that time, I was doing time with a lot of guys that already were going home. Okay. You know, so we already had like 10 years together, and then they're leaving home, and then you're like, whoa. So at that time was when reality was really just, I mean, I always knew I was going to be in there forever, but I mean, that's when it really hurts you the most, when someone that, you know what I'm saying, basically, you know what I'm saying, grew up with, and then they're leaving, and then, you know, you're still stuck there. So I was looking at the record, and I was watching it, but I was like, man, I got 12 years under my belt right now, and I still got another 20-something years to go, you know, and I'm like, and that's just not even to say they're going to let me go, that's just to say, hey, hi, you know, my first time out for parole, and I was like, man, I can't do this no more. You know, and like I said, at that time I wasn't in survivor mode no more, so I was already in the mode where, you know, where you think more about things, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I was reading so much on National Geographic and stuff. I mean, my mind was like, it was all over the world, you know. I was like, wow, it's such a freaking huge world out there, man. How can I just be stuck here for the rest of my life? I can't do it. So I prayed to God, and I asked him, I said, man, give me a sign that I'm going to go. And I'm not telling you to let me out, but let me know that if I am or if I'm not. You know, and then the next day I got a letter from John saying that that he believed in me and that he was gonna go, and I freaked out too, because I was like, oh, I was hearing about John, but that was the last person on earth I think, you know, would try to tell me he's gonna have me. This was he's married my brother's ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
So he's like, that's the last person on earth they're gonna think is gonna help you out, you know.
Right.
And then I met him, and he had all these ideals. I mean, he was so full of energy. And I even told Mom, I'm like, man, this guy, I don't think he sees the world as it is, man. I think this guy's delusional, man. You know. And so she's like, oh, well, you gotta see John. I mean, John's a good guy, man. He makes things happen that you don't think. And I was like, I don't know, man. This is a court system, man. And I mean, his ideals are kind of, I mean, they're good ideals. Their ideas are great, but I mean, that doesn't happen in real life. And but I said, but I'll keep an open mind. And I did. And then sure enough, man, he started making stuff happen. And then before you know, we have a lawyer. Before you know, he got a private investigator, and then everything just started rolling. And I was like, whoa, man. Did it, you know, and I mean, we had like a 0% chance of getting out of that situation. And then, you know, with the help of God, I mean, he used John in a way that, and it got done, and here I am. So,
and you guys are moving forward to a new business, right?
Proclaim Justice. Gotcha. We got right now we teamed up with you know the Memphis 3.
No.
They got convicted for capital murder out there in Arkansas. Johnny Depp and all them helped them out. Nirvana, the Dixie Girls, Dixie. So they got a hold of John and wanted him to be part of the part of the organization, the board member. We already were thinking about doing it in some projects, so we thought, well, they're already established. Let's go ahead and just jump on board with them. Mm-hmm. And I said it's even better because these guys, you know, half the board was actually wrongfully convicted, so they know where we're coming from. So they can, you know, you can work better with somebody that's already been in your shoes.
Right.
Than to tell someone who hasn't been in your shoes, you're telling them, hey man, calm down, man, it's gonna work out. You know, you're like, you never been in my shoes. How you gonna tell me to calm down? But when you've been there, you know, you can tell them I was at your spot. Mm-hmm. You know, I had the anxiety, I had the gut, the bubble stomach, and I had all that, and I was throwing up, you know, and everything. I know where you're coming from, man, but it's gonna come out good, you know, when you can relate to them. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was also a perfect place to get into. So yeah, so we started getting with them. We haven't gone full throttle yet, only because we're still waiting on this case to finish. Once this case finishes, then we'll go full throttle with that right there. But we already got a couple of lawyers coming in and helping us out. So.
In this case, I don't know what you can talk about, but what exactly do they have on you, or what are they trying to try you for?
They don't have nothing on me. So they're just really, I don't know what they're trying to, what they're gonna go, what we're gonna go to court for. I don't know what they're gonna present. You know, they say they got all this stuff. We don't have nothing though. I mean, so I was ready to go to trial last year. You know, I was very nervous about it, but you know, I was like, let's go, let's do it, and you know, and then I mean, I don't know what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering because they can't use anything from your previous trials.
No.
It's all thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a law against double jeopardy, isn't there?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't actually be considered double jeopardy.
Really?
Because it's actually like if we starting all over again. It's like I just got arrested, basically. You know, they throw out the conviction and everything, so it's like you just got arrested for it again.
Okay. I'm just thinking, what are they thinking? Like, why? All right, whatever. And on that, I saw in 2020 that you're not actually mad at him as far as anymore.
No.
Let it go.
Yeah, you know, he ruled me for a long time where I had a lot of anger issues towards him, man. But now, I mean, I was seeing that was hurting me more than it was benefiting me. So, you know, I gave it up, and now I'm, you know, better man for it. You know, and like I said, for me, I really feel more sorry for him than anything else. And that's only because of his ego. You know, I mean, you gotta think of a guy with that type of ego, man. It's gonna have hell in life. You can never, you know, he's not in a good place. You know, mm-hmm. I mean, if you kind of make your wrong on certain things, and I mean, your life is gonna. I mean, you can imagine what his probably personal life is gonna be. Mm-hmm. With his family and all that, you know, when somebody can admit they're wrong, they're always right, they're always right, they're always right. They always do what they want to do, and the more you tell them don't do it, they're gonna do it, you know. So, really, I really feel more bad for him than anything.
Have you met him, or?
No, I haven't met him personally, just like through courts and stuff. And there's been a couple of functions that we were like LULAC meetings and stuff that he was there, but we never talked or anything.
Oh, okay, just kind of from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. And when are you guys set to go into court, do you know?
Right now, we don't know. Right now, we're still at the 8th Court Circuit of Appeals, mm-hmm. and then from there, it'll probably go to the Austin Court of Criminal Appeals, and then we'll see what happens after that.
So it's still a waiting game.
Yeah.
Actually. And are you anxious about it in any way, shape, or form?
The only reason why I'm more anxious about it, I mean, I really want to just get it over with. And I mean, we got a strong legal team. So, I mean, I don't fear going to court on it. You know, I don't want to put my family through that again, but, you know, it's not like a fear I got to have them go to trial. But the anxiety I have is because I want to move on already. I really want to, you know, be able to do what I got to do. And this is holding me back a lot. Like a lot of places I want to go talk to, like high school students and all that, you know, I can't because they say, well, your case is still pending right now. So it puts a stomper on a lot of things, a lot of different directions that I want to move. You know, and every day we stay here, it's another kid that's going to go in prison. Or every day we stay, it's going to be another kid that I could probably save, you know, from doing something stupid or getting caught up with his friends doing something stupid. And since he don't know their system and his friends do, he ends up going to jail for something he didn't do. Mm-hmm. You know, so I mean, that really drives me nuts. But other than that, I mean, I'm anxious, yes, because I want to hurry up and move around. Just get this over with and let's go full blast. Let's start helping people now. Let's get these people away from the system. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was talking to my girlfriend about too. I was like, I want to make a program where, you know, I can set up, you know, I doubt I can do it with this DA, but with a DA where we can go into the courtroom with trouble kids, because half the time these kids don't know what it's like to be in court until they're there. And when they're there, it's too late, you know. So I would like to show them how it is to be in a courtroom, all the stuff you got to go through when you go to that court, the whole waiting game, and then show them the county jail, show them what you have to go through, and then maybe try to prison. And then this way they get every step that you're going to go through when you get in trouble, you know, and this way it can open their eyes a lot, you know, instead of just being at one spot like the county jail, they got scared straight. I want to show them every process you're going to go through and that big old waiting game and how it's going to affect you.
Do you think the police department here would allow you to do that? Because I'm just thinking of your experience with PD.
I think the police department would, I mean, I can't speak for them, but I think, you know, they would, I mean, I would hope they would want to be something like, you know, save kids, you know, so I don't think that I'll have a problem with them. I hope I won't have a problem, because I'm thinking, you know, this is to help these kids out. You know, this is to get these kids off the street where they're doing bad, or like where they think, well, I'm not doing what my friends are. You know, and that's the major thing that a lot of people get in jail for a lot of times. When I'm in jail, and I hear the story, it's not necessarily them, it was their friends that got them caught up, because, you know, their friends are doing dirt, but they're like, hey, well, I'm not doing nothing, so I'm okay. But then when the friend gets arrested, who they put their finger on? This guy.
Right.
Why? Because he don't know nothing.
Right.
So, you know, I want to get, you know, so I would hope the police department would want to do that.
If not, at least maybe the sheriff's department.
Yeah. And I would need the sheriff if I need to go to jail, you know, so I'll need their support.
Right.
But, and I seen them do something like that, you know, where they got some kids go in there and take a tour around, so I'm hoping they'll be more open-minded.
I hear a phone going off.
Yes, Joe. Hello? Hey, what's going on, Joe? We're already all here. Okay. Yeah, we already started. On the bus. Okay. Bye-bye. Alright, he's on this way.
Do you mind if we do like a little tour and you can like point out things that mean something to you?
The house is kind of a mess right now.
It's okay. Here.
What?
At least to show them. Okay.
These are just our family. This is one of my golf trophies that we got playing in some tournaments.
Oh wait, was this recent?
Yeah. Yeah, all these are from well, not really, they're from last year.
Last year.
Where do you play?
We play right there on what is it, Fort Bliss, and then Peña Dunes, Escalete.
I hear Peña Dunes is a hard course, and I'm not a golfer, but that's what I hear.
It's, well, you know, it's all right. The hardest course I ever played was in Galveston. It has so much water out there that, you know, you have to go through a little island and then shoot outside the island. And I lost a lot of balls in that court.
So what do you have this year?
And these are my nephews from my girlfriend's side. Those are my girlfriend's sister's kids right there.
So are they here in town? Do you guys get a lot?
Yeah, they live right there on the horizon, and then that's my grandma. These are her ashes right here. And then the rocks are for my little girl. She brought them from camping.
Where'd you go camping?
Oh, Kingston, New Mexico?
Kingston, New Mexico. Okay. I'm actually going camping this weekend, so.
Yeah, this is nice. I haven't gone there in a minute. And then right here, well, this is just where we have a lot of my books and stuff. Like I got all my canes, my Bibles, Freemason books and stuff that I'm into. All my baby's records are right there. My toolbox. And then this is our room. Just started washing the deep order for the dogs. But this is what it's big. This is our memory board. That's where we put all our memories and everything we gotta do. We gotta pay bills where we put it on that board. It's gonna help us out.
Reminds you, huh?
Exactly. And then that's why I do a lot of my studying too on my computer online.
Oh yeah. So are you going to school? What's going on with that?
I basically just study myself, so I used to do it on my own now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, then that's what we eat. That's what. And that right there is an antique right here. That's been in our family for about probably 60 years.
Wow.
The where all the dishes are. Where
The china and the table also. Yeah.
So when did you move out here?
We moved over here, boy, going on a year now.
A year.
Yeah, and this is my PlayStation. That's where we spend most of our time too with little girl.
So tell me about some of your favorite things to do now that when you're here with your kids and
One of my favorite things was working out. I love that.
working out.
Yeah, I was a big worker fanatic. I haven't been able to do it as much as often because the kids take a lot of our time now. So, but that's what I used. That was my favorite pastime when I came out. That was my favorite pastime, and I do that a lot. And I had 2 gym memberships.
2 gym memberships.
One I'd go. It was anytime gym. I would go there just to really just work out because they had a lot of weights and not too many people. More like a homie gym. And then another place where I do my cardio, rock out gym, because of the, all the beats and music and stuff. So it will really warm me up to do cardio. So I had them 2 gyms. Another thing that I like to do too, I like to go out and try all kinds of different restaurants. That's one of my favorite pastimes too. We see a restaurant, Greek food, whatever, we're like, well, let's go try it out. I want to taste all kinds of different food. And then another thing, I like to spend time with my family and stuff, and then we like to watch the games, And then I like to take my car out on the weekends for a cruise. I got that 6-8 Impala at my parents' house.
Oh, nice.
So I
the one that they picked you up in.
Yeah, I keep it over there because it's in a garage. I don't have a garage here.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to get It's a nice car.
Exactly. So that's I like to. Me and my dad, we work on that, and then me and my girl would drive that around town on the weekends and stuff. That's cool. And then now we're gonna get bikes. Now that we're kind of having, I don't have that much time to work out in the gym, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get 2 bikes, and then we're gonna have a bike for the little girl, and then I'm gonna get the little attachable so you can put the baby in there. That's where we can go bike riding and stuff too, since we got Scenic Drive right there.
Yeah. In fact, the mountains is pretty, the good trails, like big ones, those are good too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we want to do there then. In fact, I'm hoping we'll get the bikes this weekend. We'll see. Yeah, but that's mostly what we like to do. That's where most of my whole pastime is doing that, and just spending time with my family mostly. We do that. We're together every weekend mostly, so.
That's a good thing. Does it feel like you're trying to catch up on last time?
Yeah. In fact, yeah, it is. Especially when I first came out. I see my sister, my brothers, and everybody. They got these houses, swimming pools in the backyard and everything, and they got all this. Where they're just doing that, man. And I was like, man, I'm so behind. You're trying to catch up to. And I remember a long time ago, man, a guy told me one time in prison, he's like, man, you know what? When one of the main things where a lot of people screw up on is that they come out after so many years and they try to catch up, and that's where they mess up. He said, don't try to catch up. It took them years to get whoever's out there and they got their thing going on, it took them years to get that thing going on. So it's going to take you years. So then that always played a big role in my mind. So I started slowing down.
like be patient with yourself and not
Exactly.
get frustrated. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly, especially out here when you got all these bills. You know, you save up money, like, okay, I'm gonna do this now, and then all of a sudden some bill comes up.
What's up, Dave? How are you, Dave? Good to see you.
See you?
Well, hi.
Nancy?
Hi.
Now let's see the hustle
Yeah,
about
good to
this.
see you.
This is Gigi. He's my intern.
Hi, how are you?
We were just talking about catching up. And
There's a chip right there, Joe, you want it?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Anyone here?
it's a busy day, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. Thank you for making time. I know it's been kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got this here. I had it set up a little while ago. I think it's better on my shoulder. Okay. So, you're talking about catching up and with all the bills and trying to be
Yeah, exactly.
patient with yourself.
So that's what really quick. It's always like when you save up money to do something, a major bill comes or something breaks in the house, and you gotta get it fixed. So that gets annoying. Yeah, but like I said, so you know, I always thought about what that guy said in prison, and it's always kept in my head. You know, always don't try to do, you know, don't think you're gonna be where everybody else at, because it took people years to get where they're at.
Is it just that they take the easy way out? I guess that he was implying.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people would take the easy way out, you know. And, you know, if you want it to last, you gotta go the right way. And it's like, and even my sister, I'll have a lot of talks with her, and I'll be like, man, you're doing all this, man, I can't believe it, man. And she'll always tell me too, yeah, you should have seen us 10 years ago. You know, so, yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 39.
You're 39. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And your girlfriend?
She's 31.
31.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are still young. You guys still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. And she does a good job. She makes more money than me.
And is there anything that you're hoping to work toward? You know, once it's done, once this trial is done, is there anything you're looking forward to? Maybe going out to travel in specific
Yeah,
places?
that's what I really would love to do, is go out there and travel, see the world, and you know, also go out there and talk to. My boss John always goes to all these functions they got worldwide, and he always shows me pictures of them. So it's like, man, you know, you want to be right there with them, you know, going through that and seeing all the different stories, because everybody that I've met, you know, that've been exonerated and everything. I mean, they're really interesting people, and I feel a lot more comfortable with them than regular people, because they've been where I've been through, you know. And I see, like, I'm really into studying a lot of people now. So, like, I'll see the way they act on certain stuff, the way they eat their food and everything, and it's like, it's the same way I do it. You know, so you know they've been where you've been through. So, I really want to get out there and start doing that a lot. You know, get out there and putting the word out there and traveling and seeing the world where I do it.
And are there certain restrictions that, like, you can't travel for certain days or anything, or are you?
Yeah, like right now I can't leave.
Okay.
I can't leave. Yeah, I can't leave out of Texas or nothing like that. So I can't travel, and I'm on a curfew right now also, and then I report once a month.
Even though you've been exonerated.
Well, I haven't been exonerated yet. It's just like the conviction just been thrown out.
Okay, gotcha.
So right now I'm on a PR bond.
Okay.
So then you have to report once a month or weekly. It depends on where you're at in that PR bond system.
Okay.
You know, and then you got your curfew, you know, and all that stuff. So, you know, you still like having somebody there watching you at all times. You know, you really can't do just like what was it, last Friday we were pouring cement. You know, my curfew's at 10, but we have to be at work at 11 at night. You know, and then we can't shut down 2 busy streets, and it was a lot of cement. We're gonna pour 280 yards. So I had to call my probation officer, and I called my lawyer. I was calling everybody to see if it's okay if I get there, making sure I cover all your bases, you know, so you're not like actually free, not like everybody else, like, okay, I'm going in to work at 11 o'clock, cool. You know, me, I'm have to make a million phone calls and make sure it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna get arrested when I go to work, okay?
I thought they were lenient about that, like if you work at.
Yeah, but you know me, I'm still paranoid. You know, I still always have to have all my bases covered. I don't want them to come at me with anything.
Yeah, okay. I
Yeah, so
understand.
I always got that stress on me. You know, everything I do, I gotta be like, oh, you know, gotta watch out. And like I say, I am real paranoid. Like, I do feel a lot of times, like, you know what I'm saying, like for any little thing, they'll probably try to, you know, overdo it to mess me over. So I always gotta have that in my head. You know, I always trying to cover everything that I do. Make sure everything's okay, everything's approved, everything has a signature on it.
Oh, I can't imagine living like that.
Yeah, it's stressful at times. You know, like at times it is stressful. Like I said, it was already about a month or two. You know, I mean, we're going good, and then all of a sudden they tell us we're going to work at night, and then I did that. You know, so it's not like you know, it messes with you at times. You don't have it, or like with my little baby going to San Diego. You know, that was like a perfect opportunity for me to go see my family, but I can't leave here. So, you know, we just have to, okay, we're going to take the baby to San Diego. So, you know, but I really want to go over there and see all my family there. I haven't, you know, and check out, you know, see how my brother's house is. I've only seen pictures of it. I got a lot of, you know, my aunt and everybody. And go see the beach. I haven't been to San Diego Beach since I was probably 5 or 6. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I would love to do, but I can't.
What you can't do. How long is this period for?
Yeah, till it's all over.
Till it's all over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's just a waiting game then?
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But it's a lot better than being in jail, though. Take that, you know. But you're not all the way free yet, and that's what I really want, you know, just to be over with this. Because I mean, we got so many opportunities, we got so much stuff to do out there, and it's like this is holding us back from doing it. You know, I don't know how many opportunities we had to let slide because the timing wasn't right. We're still waiting for this. We still got to do that, you know. So that gets frustrating a lot too.
So as soon as you were done, was it almost immediate that Jaime Esparza went ahead and appealed the case again?
He appealed the ruling of the judge's ruling is what he did. The judge ruled that the tape recordings that they were trying to get into evidence was inadmissible, was not relevant, was not material, and so he excluded them from the trial. And they're appealing the judge's ruling on that.
I see. So they're trying to get it back in.
They're trying to get him in. I'll tell you, we've heard all the recordings. None of the recordings have any incriminating statements. It's really not relevant, so we don't think it's anything that's inculpatory. I think this is just a delay tactic on the part of the state.
Yeah, I was talking to him about it earlier. It just seems like, what do they have?
They don't have
They
anything.
don't have.
That's right. They have no evidence.
Right. Okay.
Which is why we're very confident and why we're so anxious to go to trial. It's not typically that I'm anxious to go to trial in a capital murder case, but I am on this one.
And you've had several cases, a lot of cases. Okay. And I don't know. This is just my speculation, but it is an election year. It was an election year when he first tried it.
Correct.
Do you think there's a connection with that?
You know, that's a question that the prosecutors have to answer. It certainly is a reasonable inference.
But nothing. He can say anything.
Well, it's nothing that they've admitted to me about.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there anything that either one of you wants to add or say that perhaps I didn't cover?
I'm not sure I know what you covered before I got here, so I don't know what was.
Mostly it was just like the experience I went through in prison and stuff, and then asked if we were gonna go to, you know, about the case of, you know, what do they think, you know what I'm saying, about me going back to court and all that stuff.
I will tell you this. I'm gonna tell you what amazes me is I get a lot of my strength from Daniel. It amazes me that a young man who almost lost 2 decades of his life still has faith in the system that put him there. The system that failed him, the system that failed to protect him. He still has faith that this same system is going to exonerate him and it's going to finally end his nightmare. And I give him a lot of credit. It takes a tremendous amount of courage for him to still have faith in the system that robbed him out of almost 2 decades of his life during very formidable years. So I get a lot of strength from Daniel. When I get tired, I remember what Daniel's been through, and it gives me the strength to fight that much harder.
Yeah, I do like to thank everybody. Mostly, all our pals and stuff, like I tell you, like, I go out to eat sometimes, and a lot of times they pay the bills, stuff. The support they give me is phenomenal. You don't get that very often. It's like, it's crazy. Like when you stop there and this lady gives me a rosary that's been blessed by the Pope. And it was like, I want you to have this. And it's like, whoa. It's so a lot of things to, say to El Paso and everybody that's seen Dateline and everything and all their support and stuff, because that's what gives me courage to keep on going, is that knowing that, you have faith. You know what I'm saying? That they're like, hell yeah, they're rooting for you, and also, when you come across, even when I'm walking down the street, whatever, and I get police officers that stop me, downtown area, and they'll be like, hey man, we're going for you, man, hopefully everything, and that really blows your mind, you're like, whoa, it's a police officer. So I like to also thank all them police officers also, that did that, that took their time to tell me that they're rooting for me, that, and don't think that what you did at that moment, man, it's I carry it to the day. That's phenomenal to have an actual police officer tell you that after being what I went through with this detective.
Right.
So that's awesome too, man. And my family also for always being there for me and everything. And for Joe, Joe's been there for me, and calming me down on a lot of times when I was in jail. And for John, John did a lot too, and he's still doing a whole bunch. So just thanks for all the support for everybody got, because that's what helps me keep on going. Because at one time I was dead, I was like, I didn't have faith in nothing, and to be in that very dark place, man, that the abyss basically, and then to be out here in the light now, it's a total freaking awesome experience.
Okay. I have a friend that was on probation for 10 years. So, he was going through the same paranoia as you're currently feeling right now. And he just got finished, And one of the things he told me was, even the bad times, he was glad he went through them. Do you feel that way in any sense, or do you feel like the past 20 years maybe there was something you learned?
Yeah, well, that as far as I wouldn't have want to go through that stuff, but like having experienced it, I am glad for a lot of stuff. Especially a lot of the people that I met in there also. There's people see prison as it is a dark place, but there are some people in there that are really, are very intelligent and got a really good understanding about life. And to meet these people, like I was telling you earlier about what that guy had told me years ago in prison, if you ever get out, don't try to catch up to everybody, it took them years to get where to have this advice, it still affects me to this day, I still have them people there, there's some people that I've talked to spiritually, and they're like, the people that go in there, the chaplains and stuff, and they move me with the things that they've been through themselves, and then to be what they're at, and then to be over there talking to us, and to the day I still think of a lot of it. So a lot of this experience that I had, thank God that, that I did go through them, because it made me who I am today. Put me at that thought that I am today, right now, I see a lot of people in life don't stop and smell the roses, and I think that's really, I think that's really bad on their part, because you're basically living life every day and not enjoying it also, I got a friend that works 2 jobs, and I tell him all the time, man, I understand you got to pay bills, man, but 2 jobs, brother, man, you're not enjoying your kids, and when they grow up, you're going to regret it. So I like, that's one thing that prison did affect, man. It let me enjoy life also. It let me stop, and then, especially right here on my front porch, where I could see I got an awesome view of Juarez and downtown area in the mountains. A lot of times I'll come home, I'll stay right there with my cup of coffee, and I'll just watch everything, and then just play me some oldies, and then my girlfriend will come out, what are you thinking about? I'm just thinking about loving life. The baby's asleep, so I got 5 minutes to enjoy this.
That's what you're gonna do.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just out of strange curiosity, what do you think of the PlayStation?
Ah, man, I love
'Cause
it.
what did they have?
Nintendo?
Nintendo, yeah.
I couldn't get the controls. Actually, the reason why I got into the PlayStation was for my daughter.
For your daughter.
Yeah, because I asked her mom, I was like, well, what, because she wasn't, like, I couldn't really talk to her. You know, like, if I asked her questions of a yes or no, and if it consisted of more words, she would just, like, shrug her shoulders. So I wanted to try to, you know, same bond with her somehow, and I couldn't think how, so I thought to myself one time, you know what, I gotta get into something she likes. So I asked her mom, I was like, well, you know, what does she like to do? You know, what is she into? So she had told me, she was like, well, you know, she's a gamer, she likes to play games. So I'm like, oh, what games does she like to play? Oh, PS4. So my girlfriend actually bought that for me.
Uh-huh.
And then I started playing it, and I couldn't get the controllers down packed at first. I'd get real frustrated, so I had to go online and figure them out. And then, yeah, once I started figuring it out, I found out what games she liked, and I bought them. And then I called her up and I told her, hey, man, I just bought these games, you know what I'm saying? You want to come over here and show me how to play them? And that's how we did it. And from then on, I mean, she talks to me now, and like when I hug her, she don't cringe no more. And she actually calls me on Sunday, like every Sunday. It's me, it's me and my girl, and her and her husband.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, we'll sit here and we'll play the PlayStation and stuff like that. So that's how I got into the PlayStation, and I started getting addicted to it.
That's interesting. So, how old is your oldest?
She's 21.
21? You said she's
married, yeah.
Married? Wow.
Mm-hmm. And she lives up the street.
Well, that's nice. Does she come visit you every now and then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, every Sunday we hook up now. And that's what we'll do. We'll sit here and we'll play some PlayStation, or then we'll go out to eat.
Right.
Or we'll go out to eat and come back here and play some games or stuff like that. Star Wars and all that. I just started getting all the games she liked. And then I started getting my games and stuff. And then I'll be like, hey, we check this game out. Check this one out. And yeah. And that's it. But that's actually the deal breaker with my daughter with that PlayStation.
Nice. Have you played? Are you on the network?
No, I haven't. I haven't got online yet. I go online only when she's here because I go through her account.
You should try Broforce. The Broforce. It's the corniest game ever. But basically, it's 2-bit, so you're 64-bit like Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
It's a Nintendo game system, and you're Chuck Norris or your Sylvester Stallone or your like a bunch of other your Indiana Jones, and it's all these bros, you know, and they flex or whatever, and you're just completing missions. You're just going around killing bad guys essentially and saving people. And then it'll pop out like Broforce. It's like the funniest thing ever. So look it up, try it out. Yeah, it's a good one, you know. So.
Yeah, because I gotta make my own account online. I haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm. Can you? Are you able to do like social media right now? Because I know in some instances.
Well, I don't got a Facebook or nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
But I am on what's that? I got a lot of game accounts that I hook up with a lot of people like around the world on.
Oh, yeah, you should be okay.
Like especially on Black Ops 3. Yeah.
That's good.
So that's about the closest social media I got.
That's pretty good. Right there. Yeah, cool. Well, cool. Thank you so much for coming, letting us come into your home and letting us talk to you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. And this snack card here, I'll give you.
All right.
So you guys have any questions, and I'll let me just get this situated real quickly.
And what are you guys gonna put this on?
This is actually, let me write that down on the card that way you can look it up.
Okay.
See on PasoHeraldPost.com. So, it's all online now. It's a new, well, it's not a new newspaper. It's, the newspaper, the Herald Post, went out of business several years ago, and the news editor, news director from News Channel 9, Chris Babcock, he got out of broadcast, and he decided to pick that up.
Oh,
so
wow.
he just went ahead and gave it life again.
Yeah.
He did it all online, and his reason behind it was he got tired of the news, which is funny. He was tired of it, now he's going to go back into it. But he got tired of it. He got tired of the way it is. Because you see, like, the trending thing is Kim Kardashian or, you know. And so he wants to
Housewife of New Jersey.
Exactly. So he wants to bring the news back to what it is, even if it takes longer, to report the news. If
Right.
it's a 10-minute segment, then it's a 10-minute segment. So that's why I was like, okay. I used to work for the Times, and then I got into teaching, but I really missed this.
Oh,
So I talked to Chris about it, and he's like, yeah, be our features writer and just do what you want to do and make a story a real story. I was like,
Good.
okay, that's what we'll do.
exactly. Great.
So instead of having a sound bite, this might be like a 20-minute video
Okay.
because it has everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we enjoyed about it.
That's great. Thanks for coming
Oh,
back.
no problem. And let me get this over. I thought I had some. I think it's in that.
Oh, the video. Oh, camera.
Here we go. So in case you have any questions. So,
Thank you.
thank
Nice to
you
see
so
you
much.
again.
Nice to see you.
Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
very
Thanks
welcome.
again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Best of luck to you. We're rooting for you.
Bye. Yeah, we are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You have everything?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Keys, everything. Yes.
Okay.
I had fun. It was cool seeing you in action. And besides, I never, what is it called? Never had the experience of like, like the interview, like the camera.
Really?
Yeah, so it's
Well, now
pretty
you-
cool. Yeah.
I thought you had shadowed Sandra Diaz.
Yeah, but what we did, it was,
More in the newsroom?
yeah, more in the newsroom, and she would just show me like, oh, well, this is what we do. And she, what is it called? I met, what was his name? Well, I don't know, he was like the editor of the news. Then she showed me how they edit I guess like the whole, how the news goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I was like, it's interesting. But I was like, now I want to know what a reporter does.
Now you know?
Yeah, so it was pretty interesting.
Let me see something. Yes, it's been recording. So here's what I did. And this is a lot of times after you ask them, is there anything else you want to add or say? You know how the interview continued? Because he kept on, so I followed up on things. And then I asked him about the PlayStation.
Yeah, yeah.
No longer, but it was still recording.
Yeah, me too. I left it on because I noticed that you left it on. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I left it on.
Just leave it on.
Yeah, I left it on because I figured you'd still be recording, and then I did this.